All right, this video is going to be how to create holes in TinkerCAD. So you can see here I have a bunch of shapes on my screen. When creating holes in TinkerCAD, you need at least two objects. You need to have a solid object and the hole object. So we'll get to these later, but let me show you in real time how I do this. So let's bring out any solid object. I'll bring out the ramp object. So I want to cut a hole through my ramp here. Okay, so this is the object that's being cut through. I need to bring out something and make it a hole. So let's just say I'm going to bring out the cylinder object. Okay, any object you want to be a hole, you simply click and make it a hole. So if I want to put this through my ramp, I'm going to rotate it a little bit. And now this is where people get confused about holes. So a hole in TinkerCAD must intersect as far as you want it to cut. So if I want this hole to go all the way through, notice how only a bit of it is peeking out the back? That means the hole would not cut all the way through this ramp. So what I'm going to do before I do this, I'm going to make this bigger. I'm going to go like this. And now I'm going to rotate it 45 again. Let's take a look at this. So it's still not going all the way through. I might need to sink it down a little bit. I'm gonna move it over. That's going all the way through, but that's going out the top. Let's sink it down a little. Let's go like that. Okay. So I want you to notice here, you can see that, let me make the width a little smaller. You can see that I have my object that's being cut through and the hole. So notice how it goes all the way through, right? If I drag it and group it, it'll cut it all the way through, okay? So here are some common things you kind of do with holes. So we do through holes. When a hole's all the way through, we call it a through hole. So like if I want to put this shape through my roof shape, like that, okay? Here are some more through holes, okay? Just another example of through holes. Again, it goes through. That's what they're called, through holes. If I don't like the holes, you can ungroup them. Now let's not make this a through hole anymore. So I can simply just shrink this down and move it up with the cone. Notice it's not peeking through, right? So when I go to group this, it only will cut this hole through the depth of the bottom part of the hole. So this hole, I can see the bottom of it right here. This is where it's going to cut to. So if I were to move it down, that would cut to like right at the bottom. So I'm going to move it up a little. Oops. So I go like that, group it. And again, it didn't go through, but it went very close to the bottom. Okay. So another thing, and I don't know, calling it a hole is kind of misleading because you can do other stuff. So take a look at this here. If I were to group this together, it's going to cut everything that's intersecting that hole. So we're going to be left with this piece on an incline like this. So if I cut it, oh, look at that. You can kind of use it to shape your own objects, which is cool. And finally, just more of that, kind of shaping your own objects. Think about what this is going to look like. It's going to be this shape, but we're going to be missing kind of like a square out of it. So let's group it and see what it looks like. It looks like that. Okay. So again, because these are all holes, they can all be undone, right? If I were to highlight all these and go to ungroup, well, look, I have all my holes back, okay, which can be edited and regrouped as needed. So that's a little bit about holes. They're a great tool in TinkerCAD, and don't be afraid to use them and experiment with them.